Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the happy crafty homemaker. And finally, I'm ready for the final review of my 3 months with Crochet Society. I am really sorry for the delay in this with the move and everything. If you're familiar with my channel and already are acquainted with me and my channel, you know I just moved in October. So it's been a little hectic around here. I've been a lot slower in working through the boxes and getting things ready to go. And so I was actually hoping to film either Saturday night or Sunday. Unfortunately, it's now a very rainy Monday. But I have 2 pages worth of notes that I wanted to walk through with you guys. And first off, I want to start off by kind of giving you a quick overview of all 3 boxes and the projects that I made from each box before we get into the actual review. If you want to see more information on each box individually as I opened them and gave you my initial thoughts, please go back and watch those videos. They should be marked Crochet Society Box 1, 2, and 3. They are in the playlist marked subscription box reviews, I think is what I have it called. Anyway, let's crack on. So the first month, our pattern book looked like this. Very, very cute. We had 2 balls of Bo Peep Luxury Baby. One in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blue color. And one in this very warm tone gray, which, if you saw my Knit Crate unboxings when I did Knit Crate, you know I love a good warm tone brown, gray. Most grays are very cool toned, so it's really nice to get that nice warmth to the undertone of the blue. I do have a cat that's already down here, so if things start falling or you hear scratching sounds, that's Pippin. Pippin is already down here. But these were DK weight. We got a hook in the size to work our projects with. Little introduction card. A conversion card for hook sizes and US versus UK terms. A little notepad. We got a set of stitch markers. A little bit of polyfill. Some safety eyes to coordinate to the projects in the book. A branded tape measure, and some post-it flags. So that was what we got in box 1. This is why I'm sitting on the floor. I've been trying to sit in chairs more frequently as I'm filming my videos, but that hasn't worked out so well for this one because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to have on the floor around me. So this was the pattern book. I've mentioned before as I've done the unboxings how much I really enjoyed the books because it's not just patterns, there's other information in there. In this box we got the Caron Pantone yarn, so they actually included the directions on how to unravel the Caron Pantone hanks so you can use each individual color. Set my projects to the side here. We also got an enamel badge. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the color was in Fairy Cake. This is one of the few things I will be keeping. I have a friend who's asked for all of the extras. She is a huge fan of Bella Coco designs. So I will be sending her all of my extras. We got another hook for this month. We got a tapestry needle, which was one of the comments I made, is it would be really nice to have a tapestry needle included with these. We got a cute little stitch marker. A gauge marker that does your, this is the centimeters, which I'm an American, I use inches. And also your hook. There you go. That way you can see the hook sizes there. So you can do a check if it's an unmarked hook. We got more safety eyes. And another conversion card of the UK sizes and terms. And since I showed you the other ones, this was all the yarn I had left from my Pantone And box 3. This was the cover for box 3. I don't know what Pippin's trying to knock over there. If I have to pause this, I'm really sorry. We got some polyfill. Another card with the hooks and terms. Might help if I hold that right side up. And they all have different sayings on the back. We got a... I've made a mess of my box down here, sorry. We got a jelly style Notions pouch. It says hooked on the front. It has the Crochet Society logo on the back. Safety eyes. A coordinating stitch marker. Hold on a second. Let me go check and see what he's getting into. Sorry about that. He was chewing up ribbon. Say hi. Before you run off, say hi. All right. Go run off. The problem of not having everything put up is your craft room is not yet pet friendly. Anyway. So I just showed you the bag and the stitch marker that coordinate. We got a coordinating project tracker. Whee! And on the back you have your abbreviations. This was the first month where our code was included in a card in the box for the video tutorials. A hook. And I love how the hooks coordinate to the rest of the theme of the box. The boxes also come in different colors and styles that kind of coordinate to your overall project. Little flyer messenger. And the yarn this month was King Cole Cotton Soft. It was 200 grams, 100% cotton. And we got it in this lavender and white colors. So, and that was all that I had left over from what I made from that box. Very quick one through, blah, blah, blah. Very quick run through of everything that we received in the boxes. Box 1, we received 4 patterns. Box 2, we received 3 patterns. Box 3, we received 3 patterns. There are also video tutorials. One of the patterns in box 2 came with, or not box 2, box 3 came with an alternative tail. There was a unicorn, or you could do a mermicorn. All video tutorials. So all in all, I spent, in order to have all these boxes shipped to me from the UK, get the boxes and everything, all inclusive, I spent $79 on these boxes. Not including the cost of the patterns, my total estimated value is about $110. So I averaged with about 28% savings. Now, I have been trying to not include the price of patterns in the subscription box cost if the pattern is not available for purchase on its own. But I had a number of commenters want that included. I am fine including that. It was very hard with this since only 2 of the patterns are available on their own. Most of these are specifically designed for this box. On average, I went through the designer's other patterns and looked at the prices that they charge on their own websites, Ravelry, Etsy, personal blogs, for their patterns of similar size. A lot of these designers have very similar patterns out there, so it wasn't that hard. It was just the total amount. So on average, for the 3 boxes, the pattern total was $37.77. So, I mean, that is a lot of value if you were to go out and try to purchase these patterns from these designers. I prefer to not include that just because there is the assumption at least one pattern will be included, but you guys asked for it, so I decided to include that as a separate amount. So that would have obviously taken the price of the box, let's see, $147 total value, meaning it was a 48% savings. So, you know, I said at the beginning when I was doing these, or when I first started my channel, basically to do these reviews, to me, 15 to 25% discount should be expected. Seeing how if you use a coupon to purchase things online or in store, that's normally the coupon amount you're going to get in the US. I am an American, so I am looking at this from an American perspective. My costs for these items are based on what they would cost to purchase them here in the US or have them sent to me here in the US. So if you're in the UK, I don't know what your pricings are. If you're in Europe, I can't tell you what the pricing is. That's just what I could find them for here in the States, all in all. So I have to say, as far as like the cost comparison, and in each video I did for this series, I did, you know, price out the cost of stitch markers, the hooks, things like that. So like I said, go back to those videos if you want more detail of what was in the boxes and what the individual price breakdown per box ended up being. So I would have to say a 48% savings overall is pretty spectacular. But even without including the patterns, I think 28% is very respectable. I would love, if you're in the UK or Europe, to know what your thoughts were as far as the price per value. For me, there were a lot of things in here I don't need extras of, so I am happy to pass those on to somebody else who would love them. But, you know, I'm kind of a hook snob. I like one shape of hook pretty much. I haven't found anything else that works in my hand very well. I do have issues with joint stiffness in my hand, so the longer I can work, the better. And a lot of that has to do with having a hook that works for the way I hold my work. So that broke down all this. I did want to mention the Bo Peep yarn. That was 100 grams in that box, 50 grams per ball. That is a Falkland wool nylon blend. The Karen Pantone is 100 grams. 60% acrylic, 20% nylon, 20% merino. The King Cole cotton are 100 gram balls, so it's 200 grams in the box. And those were 100% cotton. So run those down real quick. I explain the estimated of the pricing on these. So real quick, what did I make with my box? So from box one, I did start with the tapestry project. It was absolutely gorgeous. I love the way it looked in the final project. I just don't like tapestry crochet. I like it for boxes, but for some reason it just wasn't working for me. So I came back and I pulled my tapestry out and I worked up the mitts. I think these are adorable. They are incredibly snuggly, very warm. They hit exactly where I prefer mine to hit, right under the rings. I'm less likely to snag them, taking them on and off. I have not woven in the ends because I have not blocked anything. I love the usage of the detail stitches. Can't say anything bad about that. I had leftovers, so I was able to create a second project from this box. This is Pinrose, the Pocket Bear. The only thing for this that was not included in the kit was the little piece of black yarn to do his nose. I mentioned as I started going through these boxes, trying to explain, these are not your standard subscription boxes that we're used to getting, which are just a project, a yarn, and maybe an extra. These are 100% mostly inclusive kits. The only things I had to provide for most of the projects I did, aside from that little scrap of black, were tapestry needles for box one, scissors, and that's it. The hook worked for all the projects that I did. I don't know if it worked for 100% of the projects across the board, but I was pleased. So box two, I did the headband. There were two larger projects. There was a pot cozy, like a little terracotta pot cozy, or the headband. I did the headband, and I love how that turned out. I think this would make a beautiful cowl. If you're into cowls, just expand it and go. And I did two of the little jellyfish with no inner tentacles, the inner ruffles. And that's only because, it's not because I didn't have the yarn to do it. You saw the two little bundle scraps I had. they were going to be mismatched, and I didn't like that. So I just left them with their little legs. But I did get 2 of those out of my scraps even after doing the headband. I do have a full review from last year of when Karen Pantone came out here. I did a full review on it. You can, once again, go back and look at that and see what you think about what I said about the yarn. I know I was in the minority for actually liking it, but I think this is one of those case in point. There's more yarn in there than you think there is, even though the yardage is low. It is still 100 grams of a bulky weight yarn, and being able to get 2 softies and a headband out of that yarn, I think is kind of impressive, personally. And box 3, I did the Mobius cowl. And the way this is built is, so I complained that every row took me 3 years next to forever, because it did. Because you are working in a figure 8. So this isn't, you know, row 1, row 2, row 3. This is row 1, row 2, row 1, row 2, row 3. You're doing 2 rows at once as you're building this, because it is a full Mobius and it's built as a Mobius. It's not sewn together. I love it. My colors are reversed from the project, and hilariously in the video, it is reversed from the written pattern directions. So that is what I actually was able to get out of 3 boxes. So for my $79, I got a cowl, a headband, a pair of mittens, a pocket bear, and 2 jellyfish. I have to say, I'm not displeased with the amount of time and enjoyment I got out of these projects. The fact that there are so many projects in these kits, or the options in the project book in these kits, means I didn't feel like I had to work through a project I hated to do a review. That has slowed me down in the past, where I just really hate the project that comes with the kit. And even if I use the yarn for something else, I still have to review the quality of the pattern if it's a company written pattern for those projects. It was easy with Darn Good Yarns, because I could just say, hey, I read through this. This is a very short pattern. Looks fine. Some of the other ones, not quite so much. I have been reading the comments. I've received a few emails as the videos have come out. And one of the things I did want to discuss is, because these are kits, I would call these more project kits than the standard yarn subscription box. To give you a cost comparison to kits that are available in the US. Now, Blueprint offers a very large crochet kit. It's really geared for beginners. It is $86 to $68, depending on if you're a member of Blueprint or not. It comes with 4 projects, 2 hooks, and 7 balls of yarn. This one came with and it does have extras. It does have stitch markers and things like that as well. But these came with 3 hooks. What was it? 7 projects? No, or 10 projects? 10, 11 projects? Depending on the Mermicorn. And it cost me $79 to have it shipped from the UK. Now, it is free shipping on this, so it's cheaper if you've already paid your $79 to Blueprint to be a member, but you're also spending that $79 up front to get free shipping. Webb's has kits for the Edwards Menagerie books. If you're not, or Imaginarium, if you're not familiar with these books. We've got birds. As I start knocking things off my very loosely stored pattern shelf there. And that's the original Menagerie. Now, these are large softies. They are absolutely stunning. And in the books, they're written using primarily luxury yarns. But Webb's does sell kits to do individual patterns from those books. You get a postcard pattern to complete the project. They range from $36 to $44. you get one project, one yarn, one hook, stuffing, and eyes. So that's not bad because you are getting a luxury yarn. But in order to get 3 projects, you're spending, once again, over $90 for 3 projects if you bought 3 individual inclusive kits. Darn Good Yarn actually has a kit using their recycled yarns. It was for a unicorn. The original price on it is $20. I did see it for $20, and then when I went back to check my pricing yesterday, it was on sale for like $4. So I'm not really sure where that hits. It comes with 1 project, 9 colors of yarn, but it's the small amounts. So you can only make 1 unicorn, not, multiple projects like we did here. And the hook. Joann's Fabrics sells a couple of kits. They're branded as Hooked. I'm not really familiar with the brand Hooked. I don't know what kind of yarn you're getting or quality you're getting. But they have animal kits ranging from $13.99 to $17.99. And you get the project, the yarn, a hook, no stuffing. And they have other kits for like the little poofs and things like that we saw from the Crochet Jimmy Bean. I believe Summer Tips and Stitches made the poof from her kit last year or at the beginning of this year. They sell poofs like that. It's $60 for those. There are also some bags and a couple other larger items, but they're all in that $60 to $69 range. So I wanted to give you a quick rundown of kind of when you're getting these inclusive kits. A lot of times they cost more than your yarn subscription boxes anyway. So keep that in mind as you're doing the cost comparison or cost analysis breakdown for these things. One of the things that I can say from kits I have tried in the past, I have had to use my own hooks because I am a hook snob. I like my hooks to glide through my fiber. I don't like to have to fight my tools, even if I'm fighting the yarn. I used some really nabby, stiff, gross feeling yarns in the past, but with a good hook, I can manage. Cheap hooks drive me insane. Can't stand them. As much as these, the handle on these are not always comfortable for the way I hold my work pinched here, and I tend to guide with my pinky. So I need something where I can pinch comfortably and pinch comfortably down here as I'm working. And I tend to cramp right here in my hand. So the hold for this is not particularly comfortable. However, you can see that there are 0 burrs on that hook. It is exceptionally smooth and it glided through my work beautifully. So while it's not the right hook for me because the grip is uncomfortable, there is nothing functionally wrong with the quality. The quality is an excellent quality hook. So you're getting 3 high quality hooks with this, which is more than any of the other boxes. You got what for the US consumer would be higher quality yarns for the most part. Or 2 out of 3 were higher quality yarns. In my review for box 2, I did give the pro and con to receiving Pantone yarn. As an American consumer, it's a mid-range yarn for us. It's available at a big box store, but it is I found a nice quality yarn by and large. I didn't have a huge list of cons with this. I really didn't have any problem in the cost, in my pleasure in working with it. All of the yarns I got I didn't have a whole bunch of knots. I didn't have any tangling issues. I really like that Bo Peep yarn. I'm on a yarn fast. I can't just purchase yarn willy-nilly anymore. But the Bo Peep in particular was probably my favorite to work with, as I'm not a huge fan of cotton, though this Cotton Soft was very nice to work with. I really enjoyed the patterns. There were quite a few designers I was not familiar with already. So I enjoyed getting to test run some of their patterns. And by doing the pattern analysis, I did see how many other patterns were available by a lot of these designers. So there are a couple I might be going back to. You do have the written pattern in the booklet and the video tutorial. So I did use the video tutorial to do the cowl and the mitts. I didn't need to. I just figured if I was going to review it, I may as well. Excuse me, my throat is really dry and I forgot my water glass again. I figured I better, if I was going to review it, since the videos were available, I ought to at least try to use the videos to give you a good analysis of those. They're very clear. They're very easy to follow. Repeatedly, the designers tell you to stop the video there. When you're up to the next point, restart the video. So they remind you where to pause the video so you can complete your row and rejoin at the next section. I really was impressed. I'm not a huge fan of following video tutorials. I either find them too slow, too fast. They spend too much time explaining how to crochet and not enough time getting to the pattern in a lot of cases for me. I generally don't like following video tutorials. They didn't explain how to crochet. They jumped right into the project and showed you the project, which to me should be the goal if you're using a video tutorial. There were a couple things on the side I wanted to discuss. And part of it is where I did my cost breakdown on certain things. There were a number of people who begged to differ on the price in video, whichever video this came in, or box this came in. I had this listed, that was box 3, wasn't it? Pouch tracker. Yeah, that's box 3. I had this listed as a $5 value when I did my breakdown. I have seen these in LYSs in the past, local yarn stores, and they're about $5 if you get the ones that are branded specifically for knitting and crochet. It's just the going rate for them. Because they're branded for a craft, it's a little bit different than getting the dollar store long notepads, which you can 100% do. Also on the market right now, if you're in the US and have a Hobby Lobby nearby, they do have these little pattern trackers for $3. And there's a little bit more information that you can include. Each page is 4 different projects. So if like I use a notepad to keep track of my projects now. I'm no longer using any of the online journals or trackers. So I've moved to using notebooks. I just use a standard line notebook for mine, but these are available for $3. I had a couple of people point out that these are out there. They are out there. You can use them. I think they're actually great. I've gifted quite a few away to people. This is more, I would fill this out when I'm working on projects like my Granny Hexagon project, where I have these very long projects that are slowly using scraps as I make them. I've been working on that Granny Hexy project now for almost 3 years. So, I mean, this would be the kind of thing where I would keep this in I would take the paper, keep it in the project bag. That way I always knew what that project was at a glance, what hook size I was using, what kind of yarn I was using, and any notes I had made, like writing down the basic pattern for the Granny Hexagon or something on that page. That's what I would probably use this for. What I really use the most, though, is my notebook. If you've been watching me the last 3 or 4 months, sometimes you've actually seen me reference it. It's the little pink pineapple notepad that Cheryl Bolts gave me in our swap over the summer. That's what I've been using since I think July, August timeframe as my project tracker. And I've got plenty of room to make notes. There have been a couple design things that I've changed in patterns that I was using. So I like having a little bit more information to keep as a final. So this to me is somewhere in between what I use and just keeping your pattern in your project bag. It's somewhere in between So to each their own. Everybody has a different tracking method they prefer. I did want to let you know that those are available in other forms though. And my experience is these are about $5 if you buy them in LYS. Now you can go to the Dollar Tree, buy a long notepad, and fill this information out yourself. If you're crafty and have like a slice binding machine or just an industrial office binder, you can print your own pages and kind of build for yourself what I handwrite in my notebook. You can go to Office Depot, Home Depot, and have them bind a book for you as well. All those are actually going to cost more per item than the $5 that those costed in LYS though. It all depends on your needs and how you use them, in my opinion. There seems like there was something else. I mean, in 2 pages of notes, you'd figure this would take more than half an hour to go through. Total savings, 2, 2, 1. Actually, I managed to go through all 2 pages of my notes for this. And actually, I did make note on here. So I paid $30.86 per box. So that's how I came up with the $78, $79 for the whole subscription. So if you're trying to figure out what to ask for Christmas, if you're interested in a crochet specific box that gives you, I think of this as more a pack and play. Literally throw the box in your car if you're going on vacation or taking a road trip. I found the written patterns to be very readable. I know that's not the case for everybody. A lot of people do have issues with written patterns. I found the video tutorial to be very simple to follow. The fact that they included the code for the videos in the last box, I believe since then they have continued to do that way instead of emailing it to you, which I actually prefer, especially if you're just going to chuck this in your car. You might not be able to find the email where they sent you the code, but if that card's in your box, you immediately have that code to plug in and go. I have to say, this is definitely one of the better boxes, if not the best box I have tried so far. You know, I had kind of set like the Knit Crate is the base price per value box. To me, this has a very similar value overall and the usability of it overall. The designs and feel, if you like the Bella Coco style in general, you're going to enjoy this box. It's, I don't want to say feminine and romantic, but it's definitely, the design is very much that softer style. It's, you're not getting a punk rock all of a sudden out of nowhere, or something that's just doesn't seem to fit with the brand that Sarah Jane has laid out for her company. So it fits very well with that style. So if that is your aesthetic, if that is what you like, I would say this is a good box to try out. Everything I used, touched, I mean, even, and a couple of the boxes I've gotten from makeup to craft, not all of the zippers glide on the pouches and makeup bags and things. I mean, the construction of everything I got was very well constructed. It was high quality construction. So even with your extras, I liked them. I liked the yarn. I liked the opportunity to try 2 yarns I've never tried before. And for the UK consumers, they couldn't get the Karen Pantones. That was something completely unique for them. I would have to say, I mean, it's hard not to give it a 5 out of 5. I really was very happy with this box. I was happy with the value of the box. The first box, we had some delayed shipping issues and timing issues in non-UK residents getting their boxes before the sneak peek and previews. By the time I got my 3rd box, however, I was within a week of getting my box and the preview coming out. So the last box had to hold on to it until the official reveals before I could do my unboxing video on here. So, I mean, it has gotten a lot better. I only did it for box 1 through 3. I did start seeing the preview of the box itself for Christmas. The December box is a very sizable box. I will leave a link below if you're interested. I do not have an affiliate code. I 100% paid for these boxes on my own. As with all of my review videos, I will not review something, you know, that I'm getting for free and you don't have the opportunity to know that about. And just for the record, almost nobody knows I exist, so I don't get free merchandise. So everything you see in my room, I have paid for. Everything I do a review on, I have paid for. So this is in no way affiliated. The code down, or the link down below, is not an affiliate code. It is where I went to purchase this myself. So I get no kickbacks from it, no benefit from it. I am not Tati Westbrook. I don't have I'm not a known identity. If you don't watch makeup tutorials, then you probably have no clue who I'm talking about. As Jeffree Star would be the next person that comes to mind that you can use affiliate codes with. But yeah, I have 0 affiliate codes. When I share links to products, I get no kickbacks from it. So that's just where I went to go get it. That's where you can go get this box yourself. If you have any questions, if I didn't hit on something specifically in my final wrap-up thoughts, please let me know. I would be more than happy to answer your questions in the comments down below. You can also email me directly. That's always in the description box under my videos. Let me guys know what you think. I know a number of you guys have also subscribed, being very excited to take part in the start of a new adventure for the company Bella Coco as a whole. Between the 4 videos now, I think I've said everything I can say about these boxes. I really don't know what else I can share with you guys. If you do have questions about a specific box, please go to that box's video before leaving a comment down below, just to make sure that I haven't already answered your question. Yeah. I've got to start boxing things up, and I do need to block my projects. I think I'm going to do this again in a wool nylon blend. I have a merino nylon DK weight that I think this would be really pretty in for the winter. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Our new subscription box will be here this week. It could be here as early as this afternoon. If it is, I will sit down and film my unboxing of that and give you my first opinions. Other than that, take care. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think overall. Take care. See you guys real soon. Bye, guys.